Hey guys, here I am again, just giving you a little bit of a different type of content today. Today's actually going to be about Ultimate Guard's new Cortex sleeves. So normally when I'm playing One Piece or even Yu-Gi-Oh, I'm always using Ultimate Guard Katana sleeves. They're my sleeves of preference. I love how they shuffle. I love how they feel. I feel like they stay in pretty high quality for a good amount of time. And I have used the other major brands such as Dragon Shield and Ultra Pro Eclipse and whatnot. And from what I can tell, the katanas are my favorite sleeves. So the Eclipse sleeves I've used, I like how they shuffle. The shuffle feel is really good. The clarity on the cards is especially really strong. The one problem I have with Eclipse cards though is that I feel as though that they don't age that well, and their durability compared to Ultimate Guard and to Katanas and Dragon Shield mats are not as good. And Dragon Shield mats, although I do like them, they do kind of have an extra like large gap at the top of the sleeve that is a little bit unsightly for me, and they don't shuffle as finely as the Ultimate Guard katanas. But now that these Ultimate Guard Cortex sleeves are out, I'm kind of curious as to how good they're going to be, because this is sort of replacing their old Supreme UX line of sleeves, which were not of the best quality. But the katanas are excellent. So if they're revamping these, and the packaging looks similar and everything, like I don't know. According to Ultimate Guard themselves on their social media, they kind of claim that the Cortex sleeves are supposed to be sort of a supplement to the katana. They're not meant to replace the katana. They're just meant to be something different. But I'm here to see if that's really true. So comparing the boxes just right here, compared to like a white pack of katana sleeves versus the Cortex sleeves, we have a couple of differences, but for the most part, they look kind of similar, right? We have extra high clarity and extra high opacity on the Cortex sleeves on the left here, but on the right, it says impeccable clarity on the katana. It's like, is that really that different? They both have perfect shuffling and extra long lifespan and durability, but they're just flopped around and then acid free, no PVC. Like, I don't know, man. They don't seem that different to me. So I'm just gonna rip them open up right now. Fun fact, I've seen a lot of videos. People do not know how these Ultimate Guard boxes work. The people think you gotta open them from the top. No, that this right here, this top opening, that's a bait, bro. You gotta open these from the bottom. And just like on here on the Cortex sleeves, you got to open them from the bottom. People don't know about this flap. I literally, it's crazy. Like, I guess it's a little unintuitive. Look, it even says thank you. It's thanking us for opening it right. This is how Ultimate Guard products open, is from the bottom flap here. What the heck? Why is this? Okay, that wasn't that bad. For a second, I thought I was like, oh my god, am I stupid? But let's just get these sleeves out of here. So far, now see, okay. Already there's a mild improvement. So let me get this Yamato card out of here. I think it's double sleeved at the moment, so I'll just be a little bit. Okay. So here, the katana sleeve. This is a white katana sleeve. You can see how the back here is significantly whiter than the part on front. Now see, this is one of my preliminary wonders is the katana sleeve darker in the front here to make it more opaque so you can't see the card back behind it? So I'm kind of curious. I need to see now, because you can see here on the Cortex sleeve, it's very white on both sides. Very, very like clean white. Let me just open up the white katanas for reference to see if those are kind of more indicative of the sleeve that I have that I had the Yamato in before. Yes, sure enough, this is more of a like mild gray, like a beigeish gray, and then the back is just completely white. So I'm kind of wondering now, how opaque is the sleeve, right? That's going to be the first thing that we have to check out here. First things first, let's compare a Cortex sleeve. You can see there's actually a little bit of like very minor like bend naturally like in the sleeve. I don't know if that's how, because of the packaging, maybe I was a little forceful when I was like shaking it out. It shouldn't really be. Oh, now that I don't know if you guys can kind of see the line there. I'm not sure how that's gonna fare, but we'll see. The texture of the back so far, it's definitely different. It feels like the stiples on the katana sleeves are a little more a little rougher. Like the Cortex sleeve feels a little smoother on the back here. A little tackier. Like it like lifts up with my finger here. The Katana sleeve, I guess it does the same thing, but I feel like the Katana sleeve does that with less force. Maybe that's because that Katana sleeve though is a little bit older. Let me see if a fresh Katana sleeve does the same thing. So here we have a fresh Katana sleeve for comparison. Yeah, the Cortex sleeve is definitely a little bit more of a smoothed back. The Katana ones are definitely a little more stippled. So yeah, let's just get the card. I'll take this out of the inner right now that it's in currently. Let's get this beautiful Yamato alternate art. Let's get that in the sleeve over here. That is probably the bottom. Let's slot that in there. All right. So far, the clarity indeed looks very excellent actually. I actually think that this might even be better clarity than the Katana sleeve. But look at that, the foiling. Ooh, that is good. Here on the back, I can't really seem to be able to tell of like any opaqueness. Let me just lift this up and see. I don't know, like it seems completely opaque on the back to me. And the border is a cleaner white than it is on the katanas. The katanas again have like this very slight like beigeish like grayed out front. So I mean, so far I don't know, man. This, let's try to get the fresh katana sleeve. Okay guys, so I'm back and I'm actually finding some very strange findings with these sleeves. I did not anticipate this at all. I'm kind of taken aback, to be honest. So I I counted the sleeves. I sleeved up a deck right here. You know, I have all my cards. It's 50, right? I counted, and I ended up with a lot of extras, like a lot of extras, which on the surface seems like a good thing. Like I got, it seemed like I have five here. There's a couple. So I had to count this stack over here, and I put a sleeve in here for reference. So there's like 50 in this stack, but there's like 51 in this pack, and for some reason the other pack came with 60 sleeves. I mean, I've seen like Dragon Shield before. They're very consistent about adding a sleeve or two extra in case one comes in like defective. Like, you know, it's pretty convenient. You know, it's a feature. But this is not consistent. To get like this many spare sleeves is kind of strange. Frankly, it's kind of weird. And I also noted that this plastic wrap for the sleeves actually came like this, like torn. Kind of weird. I don't know. I don't hate Ultimate Guard or anything. There's no vendetta. Like, I love their Katana sleeves. They're my main sleeves of choice. But these Cortex sleeves have been giving me kind of weird vibes. So you can actually see on a couple of these sleeves, this one has like a speck of dirt that just came on the sleeve. And I actually noted this with a couple of other sleeves that I was doing when I was sleeving up the cards. But I was thinking to myself, okay, maybe that was just me. I like just didn't notice. But I was more vigilant of it because I noticed that there are other sleeves that just have random specks of dirt. Like, it's gone now because I just rubbed it off. Like, I don't know. It's really strange. There are some other sleeves that just have like some random quality control issues. Like this one, you can see there's a little dimple in the sleeve there. I would not be comfortable. You can see it on the back too, actually. It's basically a marked card. It's a marked sleeve, like out the box, out of a fresh pack of sleeves. This is like pretty concerning. There's like another one here that has like a dent. You can see that in the light. There's like a straight up dent that it came out of the box in, which, I mean, they give you, I guess that pack came with this many extra sleeves, but so like maybe that's okay. But like, I'm actually starting to think that maybe that these sleeves do not have the highest quality control even when they seem okay. So I don't know how clear this will end up looking. There we go. Some of these sleeves are actually slightly like curled in, like by default on the corner. Like the corners are like dented already, which is a little concerning. Yeah, you can see there's like a bend. There's like a natural bend right here. I'm sure this is like a hollow card. That is not a hollow card. Is that just the card? Does it just, is the card bending that way by accident? Like I don't, that's kind of unnerving. But what's even more concerning to me, actually, is on the other side. I noticed this when I was sleeving. You guys see that? There's just a clear, like, gash through, like, all those sleeves. Like, through, like, those 5 or 6 sleeves. Isn't that strange? In terms of, like, quality control, like, maybe I got a bad batch or something, like, but that is not inspiring confidence, right? And this is the first interaction I've had with this product. I haven't even shuffled the sleeves because I had to just show you guys exactly like what was up with like the sleeves, because this is a very strange experience. Like this side came with like one of the what was it? The sleeve with a dimple on it. There might even be more messed up sleeves in this pile that I just haven't even checked. But that one pack of sleeve, like this dimple one came from here. So it's like, I mean, if that one's messed up, then I'm sure there might be like 1 or 2 more. Like some of them just came with dirt on them. These sleeves over here like have like a literal like gash among like multiple of the sleeves. Like you can just see that in the light there. It's just like, what? How did that come to be? You know, I haven't tried shuffling yet, so I guess I'll give it a shuffle test. That is not okay. This is not. I can't say I like how these shuffle. I cannot say that the katanas are much smoother. Okay, I'm getting a couple shuffles in. This actually isn't like, this is not the worst, you know. It's, I'll put this up to the mic so you can hear how it shuffles. There's a lot of friction. A lot of friction. Dragon Shields kind of are a frictiony kind of shuffle feel as well. But the difference that I would say is that these sleeves are thinner, like they're noticeably thinner. So I don't feel good shuffling as like briskly as I would be with like a Dragon Shield or Katana. Like I guess I can try to shuffle a little harder. But definitely the feel of these is not nearly as smooth or as buttery as the Katana shuffle. So right there, I would probably say I prefer the Katanas over the Cortex already. And especially with these quality control issues, like I'm sure we can find the cards with like the gashes on the side. Like if we just looked again, like over here, like there's one right there. This Hawkins has it. There's other problems with some of these sleeves too, actually. There was one more that kind of shocked me and I was just like, oh, okay. But I mean, this was the first thing I noticed that was wrong, that was off. But I just kind of like said, okay, well, variance, you know, maybe that's a bad batch, you know, good faith. But I just remembered it. This sleeve right here, I don't know how easy it is to tell. It actually came like semi-split. You see that? I like looked at the deck like for like a second and I was like, what the heck? And I noticed that they had like a little more than 50 sleeves in there. So I was like, okay, so maybe this is just bad batch, you know, there's extra sleeves in here, it's gonna be fine. But there are multiple sleeves that have like random issues. Now these sleeves I just haven't even really looked at. I haven't really touched them. They might be slightly better, but you can even see like on the bottom here, they have like slight curls to them that's like a little bit like unnatural. Like if I look at the katanas, I guarantee you that they have no problems like that whatsoever. There's like no way that they do. Like here's the katanas on the side, like that is much cleaner looking. We'll look at the other side of the katanas. Like it's so uniform, you know, it's like perfect. Yeah, like the katanas, excellent sleeves. I guess these Cortex sleeves are just to get you by, but if this is the kind of quality control you're gonna get off of these Cortex sleeves, if this is the shuffling you're gonna get off these Cortex sleeves, you know, like they're opaque, they're fully opaque. That's like a positive. I was kind of excited when I looked at them because the front border is like pure like snow white, you know. Like I sleeved up. This is in the Katana sleeve. You can tell. This is in the Katana. This is in the Cortex. You can tell in the thickness difference already. But I have the cards right here side by side. if you can tell like a difference, just like in the picture, that'd be somewhat impressive, I guess. Uh, yeah, I mean, in person, when I stare at both of them, this is a new Katana sleeve, this is a new Cortex. When I stare at them, like side by side, the clarity seems to be about equal. I would say that the Cortex sleeve has a very, very minor like difference in clarity. Like this is like if I were to say that this is like 98% clarity, this is like a 90 like 5 or 94. You know, like this is like barely clearer, but the difference is fairly negligible. What I do prefer is that the border here is more clear white, but obviously katanas you can get them in different sleeves. Like I like the turquoise a lot. Like personally, like I would use the turquoise more frequently anyway than the white sleeves. But like that is a bonus if you like white sleeves, and I definitely do like to use white sleeves from time to time. So the color is very that's like a good that's like a positive over the katana from my point of view. But honestly, that is probably the only thing I've experienced so far in my like literal like first impressions, few moments that have been anything positive, because the quality control is out of control. Like obviously, are you gonna complain about extra sleeves? Like no, but when like you have this many extra sleeves, I, that sounds concerning. Like did someone else lose like 10 sleeves from their pile? Like I don't know, man. Like that's this the quality control here is like some of the sleeves are coming with dirt on them. They're like bent at the like the corners here. Like not they're not bent like in the corner like in like this or anything. Though if you play a few rounds with these, you know, I'd imagine they get pretty scuffed up pretty quickly. Yeah, like I can't say that these Cortex sleeves are doing it for me, man. Like $2 to buy katanas over the Cortex, that seems like the easiest decision of my life. I don't understand the purpose of this product. Like it's kind of a disappointment. I'm kind of bummed, I'll be honest, like about how it feels. I mean, there are other things I wanted to test, like the opacity on the back, like I said, for these pure white sleeves seem very good. So that's a positive, you know. Not every sleeve does that. Dragon Shield kind of struggles with that. Very good. I was kind of wondering if I would have to use like smoke sleeve inners, which I guess I can kind of show you guys how double sleeving is on these cards. I'm gonna get the Yamato out of here. Put this in. This is a Dragon Shield smoke inner. I like using. I'm gonna use this for the test just because you can see the kind of grayed out, darkened like edges there, so you kind of see how the fit is more clearly in the sleeve. But we're gonna try double sleeving real quick. The fits seem to be pretty okay. These are not as smooth as a katana for sure. I actually have to like literally wiggle the card in there. So these are not. This is. We'll see how it is when it like gets fully in there, but this is not the easiest double sleeving experience, but it seems like we are working our way in. Okay, so it's not really perfect. You can see there's like a tiny like edge. It's easier if you look on this side, like a tiny edge falling out of the sleeve. Not the easiest double sleeving experience. You can always do the like special trick. Let me just get like a bulk card. I don't need to worry about too much. Penguins, whatever. So let's just put that in there. We can do the old double sleeving trick. We have both cards kind of go in simultaneously so that the friction rides the back card less than the front card, so that it doesn't like de-sleeve as you put it in. A classic double sleeving trick. You just have to remove that card. There we go. That's a pretty clean double sleeve. There's like almost no room at the top, which could be concerning for some people. One of the flaws of the Ultimate Guard katanas is actually that like cards will like I guess I should show it with the card in. The cards will like naturally like float to the top a little bit more. I'm sure if I showed you like one of my other decks, like it'll look like this kind of like see like barely an edge, right? But cards will just kind of naturally float in katanas for whatever reason. I'm sure if I find like if I have my red deck, probably. You can see like that card over there is kind of starting to float up a little bit. It's I've never had a card like literally like pop out a sleeve like in scenarios like that, but I mean the cards definitely ride up in katanas a little bit more, probably because they have a little bit less space than other sleeves. But I mean, like I said, these Cortex sleeves, I gotta say, guys, the quality control on this batch that I received is very, very below average. And in all my years of using Ultimate Guard katanas, I gotta say these Cortex sleeves, I can't confidently say I am gonna recommend these or say that they're worth it. The quality control on them just seems really poor from my experience. And you know, maybe again, like these are just a bad batch, but these are not. Now that I'm shuffling with them a little bit more, like they seem to be, they're okay. They're definitely like okay. Yeah, I would say like I mean the point of comparison I was using before was Dragon Shield. It's just the katanas shuffle so well that I can't really, you know, it's hard to compare. But I think let me get the deck I just got out actually. Let me show you the comparison in size. That would probably be a pretty useful thing to show off. Because I did note that the Cortex sleeves felt thinner. So obviously these are new sleeves. They're going to be a little bit puffed up because the air is inside. So I'm just going to push these sleeves down. I'm going to push them down, push the air out. Actually, this is interesting. This is interesting. They are actually very similar in thickness, it seems. So I'm squeezing in the that's almost identical, right? But for some reason the Cortex sleeves feel thinner. Is that just, yeah, this is definitely the, oh, I double sleeve this card. Right. Something felt off about the Yamato for a second. I was just like, what the heck? Let me just get that out of here. But yeah, like one card aside, the difference in thickness, obviously this is not a totally fair comparison. These red katanas over here are a little bit more used than these Cortexes, obviously, because I just sleeved this deck a few minutes ago. But when I really squeeze in, it seems really even. It seems really similar, which is surprising because the Cortexes feel, I thought they felt thinner, but if they're about the same thickness, maybe they're just flimsier? I guess they're just flimsier? Like, I guess, like, this is the Katana, this is the Cortex. Like, I guess they don't really seem much different in terms of thickness. And if anything, actually, like, on the side here, it almost looks like the Cortex is, they're about the same. I'd say they're about the same. That is so interesting. So, the Katanas, they feel more rigid than the Cortex. I guess they feel flimsier. So like they're the same thickness, but like they feel flimsier, I guess. That's so strange. Very, very weird. Yeah, I don't know, guys. I mean, I was going into this like blindly, expecting something that was going to be solid, but not going to replace my katanas. But I can't even confidently recommend these at all based on this. Unfortunately, that's really unfortunate. I mean, if I get another batch of these, like maybe I'll give an update and let you know if I have another negative experience with these. But that was, man, that was not what I expected at all. I'm sorry to say, but Ultimate Guard, I think these Cortex sleeves, if these quality control issues are a common thing, then I'm just gonna have to stick with katanas forever, because that is not what you want to be seeing on a first impression. But thanks guys for sticking this out with me. Let me know your thoughts. What kind of sleeves you use? That was, man, that was quite a strange experience. I expected a lot better, to be honest, and that's, oh, it's a little bit disappointing, but I guess that's just how it goes. That's why I had to let you guys this is why I had to get this video out so you guys could also know my experience. That was, wow.